opener that the Raiders fans expected. Welcome into Raiders Game Day, everybody. I'm Amber Theoharis, along with James Jones and Eric Allen, as the Raiders lose this one 36-22 to the Panthers, a team that came into Allegiant Stadium with an 0-2 record. But you guys, Andy Dalton got the start. They had benched Bryce Young during the week, and that proved to be the difference. Really a great performance by the Panthers offense.
Yes, it was a great performance. It was a physical beatdown today, and that something that, you don't think about when you think about this football team, particularly defensively. You thought defensively we were going to be able to more than hold our own, kind of dominate this game. And I was really surprised by the line of scrimmage. The Panthers did an amazing job of making sure Andy got the ball in his hands pretty fast, didn't really touch him much. But more than anything, I just thought the domination physically was the thing that kind of stuck out for me.
From the get-go. From the kickoff, they got the football and they drove the ball down the football field, play after play after play. But for me, this is disappointing, right? Because when we come into the facility and we haven't played a game yet, we always say protect home field, win the games at home, and win the games you're supposed to win. Right? Last week, Baltimore, we didn't know how that was going to go. We went out there, we played well, we got a W. Carolina coming to the house, a team that you are better than, you are supposed to win those games. This is disappointing right here. I can't even lie. This is disappointing because when I woke up this morning, I was telling everybody I know we finna beat the brakes off the Carolina Panthers, and we came out here with no energy, flat, and lost this game we were supposed to win at home. This was tough. We should be 2-1 right now.
We should be.
Three big things we're going to cover here today on Raiders Game Day is the Raiders home opener was exciting. Raider Nation was pumped. Coming off the Baltimore win. First game in Allegiant. It was great, right up until it wasn't because of that guy. Andy Dalton, we're going to break down what the Panthers offense was able to do against a Raiders defense that had played well. But hey, it's always fun when Too Short's there, right?
Yeah,
I think he's 2-2 at Allegiant when he plays.
Too Short, that's
he's a 500 record.
But the torch was hopping pre-game.
It was hopping. It's a fun place to be. All right, let's take you out to Allegiant. Gardner Minshew ready to meet the hometown fans as he runs out. Panthers opening drive, though. Andy Dalton.
A couple things you're going to notice here, that he's never moved off the point a lot. I mean, he draws back to a hash, throws the ball from the hash. Never moved him off his pocket. With a guy like Andy, you have to find a, look at that. He's never moving off his pocket.
It was at will.
Comfortable. At will. Being able to go from left to right, right to left. That's another thing that popped off to me on film, is he was never really disrupted in the pocket.
So that was the Panthers' first opening drive touchdown since week 17 of 2022. Marched right down the field. Here are the Raiders. Gardner Minshew passes to Alexander Madison for 11 yards.
There we go. Good third down pickup. Keep the chains moving.
Two plays later.
Take a shot. I like it.
This is what we've been waiting for. Trey Tucker with the bomb. 54 yards on the pickup there.
Great job, airing out, letting the young man run under it.
We have the personnel to do these type things. I don't know what we are waiting on. Big explosive play right here to Trey Tucker.
Next play, 1st and 10, Zamir White takes it to the left.
All right.
Good run there.
Yep. Ain't it crazy when you take some shot plays and you catch it, they got to be in too high safety.
They got to drop
and
back.
You run the ball.
That's right.
Come on.
3 plays later.
Come on, let's make it
Gardner
happen.
Minshew scrambles, says, you know what, I'm gonna get the first down myself.
Playmaker.
He actually, if you look, he was out of bounds, but the offense is smart. They got up, they get to the line of scrimmage, they snap the ball quickly, not time for a review. So the next play, it results in a touchdown. Alexander Madison, 2 yards, and he has 2 touchdowns on the year now. Oh, I'm sorry, 3rd touchdown on the year, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. We had a tied game, okay.
Let's go.
So you know what, it's all right. They scored first, but we're back in it. Raider Nation's excited. Here we go in the second quarter.
Hello.
There we go. Spillane, yep. Coming on delay.
He said, you know what, Max, I know your ankle's a little messed up. If you can't get to him, I'll get to him. So he handles that one, sets up a 3rd and long. Next play, Andy Dalton finds Deontay Johnson across the middle all day long.
Just killed us.
That's too much time,
Look at that.
though.
Right over the linebacker, in between the corner and safety.
That's a clean pocket, though. And then right here, man, there's nothing really Jack Jones to do. Be honest, you got to give credit where credit is due. This is a big-time throw by Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, that's what they call him?
Red Rifle.
Right, that's a big-time throw right there. In the corner, over a defender, running away from Jack Jones.
Backside corner, this backside safety right here, he could give him a little bit of help in forcing Andy to make sure he checks it down by getting a little more depth in that situation.
And then come up and tackle.
All right, so the Panthers Panthers are up 14-7. By the way, that surpasses the amount of points they had in their first 2 games combined. Here are the Raiders. Gardner Minshew to Davante Adams, 15 yards on the catch. Take another look.
All right.
Get him going.
No.
Get him in the flow.
Yeah, we just on a little Kiro route. Sit down, come on back to the ball. Good catch.
I like those contested catches.
Yeah, watch the face mask now, ref. Could have been an extra 15 on it. You see the grab.
Here we go.
Didn't get it, though. Raiders ensuing possession. Next play, 3 plays later. Alexander Madison rushes 3 yards to the Carolina 39. Sets up 4th down, and
the fans
let's go for it.
Fans were giving us a little bit right here, too, because we ran the ball on 3rd down.
Uh-huh. So we go for it. Let's see what they do on 4th and 4. Gardner Minshew. Passes to Brock Bowers, can't handle it. Defense by Mike Jackson.
Good job here. Remember last week, we were able to come back to the ball and make a great catch. You can't come back here because you're not going to get the first down. You got to try and play big in that situation.
Jumping ahead here in the second quarter, Andy Dalton again to Deontay Johnson, who had a big day. 35 yards over the middle, another. And nobody can get to him. Nobody can tackle him. So another 3rd down conversion. Carolina.
Look how he does a good job of challenging the leverage here.
Oh, he's a route runner now.
Yeah, just really skinny on that point. That's a really good route. That's a really good route.
Carolina was 5 of 8 on 3rd down in the first half.
Nothing you can do about that right there, dog.
Next play, Andy Dalton. How old is Adam Thielen?
40.
Like 45. I mean, you pull a hammy, but you get a touchdown.
He ain't as old as me, but
that hurt.
Adam Thielen's still rolling, man.
He got it done. Pulled it. He got hurt.
Is he going to move up his point? He's on the hash right now. Look at that. He's not moving off that.
Not off of it.
He's not moving off that point.
The O-line for the Carolina Panthers play well all game long. We did not have any pass rush up there.
They're playing 7-on-7 right now.
Panthers are up 21-7. All right, let's go to the 3rd quarter. Same score there. Raiders opening drive of the second half. Zamir White rushes. And then what do they do again? They rush again. They're down by 14 points. Sets up 3rd down. Gardner Minshew incomplete to Trey Tucker. So the Raiders' 4th 3-and-out of the game. Here go the Panthers. Andy Dalton to Deontay Johnson again.
They was working the middle of the field all game long. That's not a good recipe when you talk about defense. Can't run the ball and the offense working the middle of the field.
Chuba Hubbard getting some good runs in behind some blocks there. 12 yards for him, 1st down. This drive, though, would stall. Eddie Pinheiro goes for a field goal. It's good, and so the Panthers go up 24-7. Raiders, 2nd and 6. Gardner Minshew, though, tries to get away, but he's sacked. Tries to step up. LeBrian Ray with the sack. That's a loss of 5 yards. Sets up 3rd and long. So here we are at 3rd and 11. He scrambles, trying to get the 1st down, kind of trips and comes up 1 yard short. So again, 4th and 1. Gardner Minshew going for the sneak and not even close. So that's the 2nd failed 4th down attempt. Not even close. They're 0 for 2 on 4th down in this game. All right, here we go in the 4th quarter.
Tackling a little bit of an issue today. Got to make sure those edges are secure.
5 plays later. I forget Miles Sanders is on this team till he gets in the end zone there. 1 yard for a touchdown. So the Panthers are just laying it on at this point.
Scrimmage right now.
33-7. 33. This is the Carolina Panthers.
Their best game they played in like 5 years.
I mean,
ever.
You got to tip your hat. They played a good game. Raiders next drive. Gardner Minshew.
Love it, right? In 4 wide again, right? Gardner Minshew has time.
Dumps it off to Alexander Madison, who takes it and runs 22 yards.
Gardner Minshew is better when it is spread out and it's 4 wide and he can see everything. We in 4 wide again, ball comes out, 1st down, 1st and 10. Again, 4 wide again, ball comes out, touchdown. 4 wide receivers. We are not a running team. We are a passing team. Whenever we are spread out, our playmakers make big-time plays. Jacoby right here.
Battled.
You see him keeping them knees up.
Yeah.
Battled.
Touchdown. 6 for the Raiders.
And it's a little too late.
Line,
It's 33-15. Raiders next possession. Gardner Minshew passes intended for Davante Adams. And
well, I don't want to say a missed throw. I don't know if he thought it was a hitch route. Tay running an out route. He thought it was a Hitch, I don't know. Looked like just a missed throw.
All right, so final score is the Panthers 36, the Raiders 22. Taking a look at the stats. Look, rushing 55 yards on the ground for a team that wants to be run first. It's just not working.
Can't do that on
Last week it was 27 yards on the ground. Third down, 3 of 11.
You can't do that.
Can't do that. And you lose the turnover battle. Not on here is the time of possession. You know, EA,
Yeah, that's your
I
deal.
always bring that one up.
Yep.
You can't be losing that one. What was it, 36 to 23 minutes. 20. If you possess the ball for 23 minutes of the game, you're not going to win the game.
And if you 3 for 11, on third down, you're gonna lose the time.
You can't stay on the field. You can't stop the run. You're not moving the quarterback off the point. They're attacking the middle of the football field, which is supposed to be the strength. You're not running the ball. All those things add up to a huge loss to his football team. The Carolina Panthers are coming here after a disaster of 2 weeks of football. Carolina Panthers were a football team where
people were laughing at them. They had a 60-something point differential in 2 games coming in. 60. They've been outscored by 60 points in the first 2 games, but that was with Bryce Young.
Yes.
And Andy Dalton, you have to give him credit. He looked great. He came in first drive.
He looked fantastic.
319 yards, 3 touchdowns. But this was a Raiders defense that had played very well, especially in the first half of games. Played very well against Baltimore, was able to contain Lamar Jackson. What was it about Andy Dalton? As you said, he wasn't moved off the spot.
Not moved off the point. And I thought they had a really good plan early on, just not sure if how Max was going to start this game off. If you're the Carolina Panthers, it's about, hey, listen, once you get the ball, get rid of the ball quickly. And now you get into the majority of the game, and you see that Max is a little hobbled, and he's not able to provide that pressure. Now you're able to sit back in the pocket, utilize those deeper routes that are coming off the middle. Your safety is a little deeper. The corners are not squeezing as much, and that middle of the football field was wide open. And Andy, with his veteran self, was able to just chew us up in those situations in passing.
Yeah, that's tough, man, because we are a defensive football team. We are a defensive football team. Gardner Minshew, right, is okay at the quarterback position right now, playing okay at the quarterback position. We are a defensive football team, so to come out and let them go up and down the field on us on defense and really put a lot of pressure on the offense to go down there and score some points, that was tough. And the offense, we don't know what we are right now. We don't know if we're a running team. We don't know if we're a passing team. We don't have an identity on the offensive side of the ball right now in week 3. We do not know who we are, and we got to figure that out. We can play good defense, but we don't know who we are on the offensive side of the ball. We got to find an identity quick and fast on the offensive side of the ball.
Got the Browns coming to town, going to have to score some points. All right, we're going to take a break here on Raiders Game Day, and when we come back, we're going to hear from the voice of the Raiders. Jason Horowitz gives us his take on what happened out there at home today. You're doing it.
You got this.
Yes, this is great.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go to where we go to what we do when we get there, we go further together.
In 300 feet, turn left.
With Cox's fiber-powered internet, you can do brilliant things.
Exit approaching.
Like upload your voice to Dad's GPS in no time flat.
And I miss you, Daddy. Happy birthday.
Get multi-gig download speeds powered by fiber. Upgrade your internet today with Cox, the nation's fastest internet provider. Limited availability in select areas.
Looking good, guys.
Thanks!
Oh, hey, Pickle!
Hi, Dad!
I brought Mom's glasses from the hotel.
Oh, great! She's in the ballroom, the big one!
I'm coming up!
Vacations are better with the credit gods on your side. Rewards once available to the few are now accessible to the many. Earn points for travel with Credit One Bank and live large.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Your 5-star chefs on 4 wheels, running your kitchen all over town, pushing through working hours and after hours. No matter rain or shine. Because when you stay hungry, your neighborhood stays fed. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights, only at Allegiant.com. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. And by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders lose the home opener 36-22 to the Panthers, a team that was winless coming into this game. And the man that called the game for the Raiders is Jason Horowitz, and he joins us now to talk about it. And Jason, look, this is kind of what we were worried coming in, that you come off a big win and you play down to the competition. To their credit, Andy Dalton looked great, but this was a game that the Raiders were supposed to win. What was your take?
Well, I don't think they played down to the competition, Amber. I think Carolina just smacked them around, and that's the biggest problem of all this, is that, you know, no question, when they benched Andy Dalton, when they benched Bryce Young for Andy Dalton, the conversation was that, hey, what would Carolina's offense look like? And the answer was completely different. And maybe Bryce Young was the entire problem, because they spent $150 million on their offensive line. Those guys protected today. They went out and traded for Deontay Johnson. He had over 100 yards receiving today, and Andy Dalton had a 300-yard passing day, and they had a 100-yard rusher today against the defense that's really been awesome, at least in the first halves of games, and then come up with big plays in the second half. They did not have an answer today.
The Carolina Panthers defensively was not stopping the run at all pretty much the whole year, and then we can't get the running game going. Is it running back? Is it offensive line? System? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, EA. I really have no idea. There was a couple of series where Jackson Powers-Johnson came in at right guard for Dylan Parham, and because Thayer Mumford got hurt on the first series and you had DJ Glaze, you had 2 rookies on that right side. But some of the problems, as Lincoln has been pointing out, has been on the other side of the offensive line, where you have the veterans on this team, right? Colton Miller, Cody Whitehair is a guy that came from Chicago, Andre James, who they re-signed to a 3-year deal. They're just, the holes aren't there, right? And they're either going to have to figure out different types of runs, change the running scheme, all those things, or I don't know, maybe you just come out and throw the ball 55 times and just say, hey, we can't run the ball, let's not run the ball. I don't know. EA, like, you guys tell me.
We've been talking about that. We've been saying.
What the heck?
We've been saying that. And that was my next question, actually. You're down 21-7 when you come out in the second half, and you're still trying to run the ball. And you look at the end stat line that Brock Bowers and Devontae Adams combined 7 targets. When you were down in the game and should be throwing the ball. I mean, at some point you got to call the plays to your strengths.
Yeah, I mean, the lack of ability to get the ball to Brock was certainly a surprise today. Had a couple of passes later in the game, but the first half, 1 target, had the catch for 21 yards. So there's some of that. Devontae had a couple of drops in the first half that he doesn't normally have, and I think there's some of that in this game too. But, Jacoby Myers has been a really good receiver in this league, too, and it wasn't until Aiden O'Connell came in that they were force-feeding him the football time and time and time again. And Carolina's up by 3 touchdowns at that point, so I don't really know what type of defense you're worrying about and how that'll look on film when they're starting to break this thing down. But we said this last year, and it's even more so this year. There are too many good players on offense, too many really good players on offense for the offense to struggle the way that it has. And, whether you want to look at the offensive offensive line or you want to look at the quarterback, one of those two things has to change. Otherwise, it's going to be a long season.
How about the energy? Because I'm big on the energy. I believe Antonio Pierce got the job because of the energy that this defense and this team was playing with. I did not see that energy out there at home today. I did not see it on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. We talked about that a little bit because Carolina, if you remember, James, they took the first drive and they went right down the field, right? 7, 8 plays, whatever it was for Andy Dalton, and 70 yards, and they scored on their first drive. And he was 5 of 6, and they were moving the ball, and it kind of deflated a little bit, this building, because this building was pretty psyched up early in the game. But I wonder how much of this has to do, and it's, Max Crosby plays through everything, right? If he had one leg, he would play. And that speaks to a volume of this. But he's been limited this week. He had the ankle injury, clearly was not himself today compared to he was the first 2 weeks. And he is not just the leader of the defense, he's the leader of the team, the organization, the franchise, the whole thing, right? And if you're missing some of that, then I think that carries over a little bit. And then, guys, Marcus Epps has been a really good player, and we'll have to wait and see what that injury is, but that might be a big deal for this defense too.
Yeah, including with Kuntz not being in, that other side opposite Max has really been an issue for us, particularly on passing downs. But going back to Max, you can tell wasn't 100% today, and how else is that going to affect the ability for this football team to stop the run?
I mean, he's so, we focus so much about what he does as a pass rusher. I think sometimes we forget how many plays he makes, either at the line of scrimmage, right down the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, a yard in front of the line of scrimmage. Like, it's unbelievable how many plays that Max makes in the run game too, and Christian Wilkins has been a big part of that. So all of it. I mean, to your question, all of it, right? If Max Crosby is not healthy enough to be as effective as normally Max Crosby is, which is defensive MVP type quality guy, you're losing one of the best defensive players in the league, one of the top 10 players in the league overall. And I think that answers everything by itself.
We talked a lot in the preseason. I know it doesn't matter the preseason, but run defense we were nervous about it. And then everybody's, don't worry, once we get to the season, it'll be fine. Well, 3 weeks in, they've given up 176 rushing yards to the Chargers, 151 rushing yards to the Ravens, 131 today. This is clearly a problem, and teams are going to continue to run the ball on the Raiders if they don't do something about it.
And Amber, I'd actually say today's the most concerning of those three, even though it's the fewest amount of yards of those three. And the reason I say that is, the Chargers ran for 176 yards, but J.K. Dobbins had 106 or 108 yards on 2 carries. There's an ambulance taking off here. Had 108 yards on 2 carries. And the rest, the Raiders were forcing the Chargers to 2-3 yards a carry. And so their run defense, I know the yard total was big and Dobbins had 100 yards, but most of that was on 2 missed plays. The Ravens, I mean, that's a team that runs for over 100 yards, and they did it again today, so that's 36 consecutive games with 100 yards rushing for Baltimore. They had 9 yards rushing in the first half. That's how good the Raiders' front seven has been against the run, and Nate Hobbs coming up, Jack Jones coming up to make stops from the secondary for much of the first 2 games. You did not see that at any point today. Chuba Hubbard was gaining 5, 6, 7 yards really from the get-go, and that's why today was the most concerning of, I think, all 3 games from the run defense perspective.
Jason Horowitz, we appreciate you joining us. I know that was a long game to call for you. You did a great job. Can't wait to hear you back out there to get a Raiders win against the Cleveland Browns. Much better to hear those calls.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Thank you.
And you know what? The Raiders won't win games if the offense doesn't get going in some way. And it was completely anemic, especially in the second and third quarter. I want you to take a look at what they did. They weren't able to get first downs whatsoever. So they turn it over on downs. They punt. They miss a field goal, punt, turn it over on downs, punt. That's 2 full quarters of a game. Not going to be able to win games that way. Also, I keep going back to this time of possession, only possessed the ball for 23 minutes. They had 59 total offensive plays compared to 70 for the Panthers. So there was several drives where they ran about 5 plays max and then got off the field.
Yeah, that's a scary movie right there. And I go back to what JJ was saying is identity, who you are. That's kind of what that is about right there, is we really don't understand what we need to be and when we need to be that. And that's really a difficult situation in week 3. Right? You got to have some character about yourself and say, hey, this is the kind of brand of football we're going to play. And obviously, that's not happening. Yeah. And I know that locker room and post-game locker room, there's going to be a lot of truth-telling going on. And it has to be, because this was an embarrassment today on both sides of the ball. But those stats right there, you can't win with those.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's discouraging.
Yeah.
When you're on the defensive side of the ball and you just got off the field, whether you got to stop or not, whether you gave up a touchdown, got to stop or not, and 2-3 plays later, defense, get ready. You just just got you some water, and now you back out on the football field. It's discouraging, and especially for it to happen consistently. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we got to figure it out. We got to find an identity. I don't know what that identity is. I don't know if that's put the ball in your quarterback's hand. Let's do some quick game. I don't know if that's run game, but we got to find an identity on the offensive side of the ball so we can be able to help the defense out.
All right, well, the Panthers offense was working very well because of Andy Dalton came in, gave a veteran performance, and coming up, we're going to have JJ and EA break it all down. Stay with us right here on Raiders Game Day as the Raiders lose this 36-22 to the Panthers.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro. Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day when I'll be the one you dream. It's gonna be me.
Dude, are you crying?
It's in our very nature to find exhilaration in the new, to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Hey Raider Nation, when you come to see the Raiders take the field at Allegiant Stadium, you should do it from the best seats in the house. So grab an ice cold Coors Light, and you can enter to win tickets for these Coors Light silver seats at Allegiant Stadium. With plush seating, state-of-the-art beverage coolers, and wireless phone chargers, there's no better place to watch your Raiders bring home the win. Celebrate responsibly.
Looking good, guys.
Thanks!
Oh, hey, Pickle!
Hi, Dad!
I brought Mom's glasses from the hotel.
Oh, great! She's in the ballroom, the big one!
I'm coming up!
Vacations are better with the credit gods on your side. Rewards once available to the few are now accessible to the many. Earn points for travel with Credit One Bank and live large.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro. Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day when I'll be the one you dream. It's gonna be me.
Dude, are you crying?
Intermountain Health understands that life can be a challenging game, and mental wellness is vital to our overall health. It takes courage to admit when we're not okay, and even more to reach out. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, call or text 988 or visit strongestplay.com for mental wellness resources. Well, welcome back to Raiders Game Day. The Raiders fall to 1-2 on the season with their loss to the Panthers. The Panthers, on the flip side, get their first win of the season just 1 week after benching Bryce Young, the former #1 overall pick, in favor of Andy Dalton, and it proved to be the right decision. To break down how he took advantage of the Raiders' defense, EA and JJ join us. What's up, guys?
Thanks, Amber. You know what? This is the teach tape, actually. The coaching staff, the quarterback, offensive line, they all did their job today, and they're really to dominate today's game against our defense. So, as you see here in the time, they've already realized that Max Crosby is not the same Max Crosby. So, to throw a lot of these plays in the middle of the football field, they have to take advantage of the pocket. You can't be afraid of the pocket breaking down to be able to throw this football here. So, they're going to attack the middle of the football field, but once again, watch Andy. He's not going to be moved off his point. He has time. That is a really good throw and a good design by the offense to get it done. And what you see here, no pressure. Right over the linebacker, right in front of the safety, a really good design play. Going back to it again, the design of the play. Let's find a way to get some guys isolated, right? And what'd you call it?
Dagger.
The dagger.
You got a beeline with a big end.
Exactly. Against a zone coverage. So what do you got to do against a zone coverage? You got to make sure #2 receiver is flying down the seam to take that player away, and then the good pocket presence.
That's what you got to have.
Understanding that, hey, Max is not disrupting the flow of the game again.
Right here, this is route running on display right here.
Talk about this, JJ.
Yeah, this is we call this the planner's peanut, right? And Nate is in a bad spot because you gotta worry about the out route also too. You don't want to just give him the out route. Really good setup by Deontay Johnson right here. Really good route. He's a really good route runner, but he sees the middle of the field open. Be patient. I ain't in a rush to get in there. And then obviously the yak with the ball in his hands. They had some really good play designs for the Raiders defense today.
Look at the time on the clock, guys. Look at the time on the clock. The pressure is not there. Andy's not moved at the point. That is another great throw by a veteran guy. Adam Thielen, a couple years ago, had the same type of effect with Andy Dalton also.
But not only that, EA, you just pointed at the bottom. It's 33 seconds left in the game, right? We go over situational football all week in practice. In this situation, give up the field goal.
Yeah, you can't allow it to happen.
You can't allow an explosive play. Let them kick the field goal. You're going to go into halftime feeling good about yourself. We ain't played that well on defense, not playing that well on offense, but we're not going into halftime giving up a score. We got to be better with situational football.
We have to. Got to get better. This is the best game the Panthers played, the worst game we played so far, but we're going to play better. Got to next week against the Cleveland Browns. Back to you, Amber.
Don't think Dave Canales didn't know what he was doing when he picked Andy Dalton to face the Raiders. The Raiders have struggled against Andy in Andy's career. Look at these numbers. This is including today. He's thrown 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his career against the Raiders. He's 4-0. He completes about 68% of his passes. So they knew what they were doing. They knew it would give him a shot in the arm, and it did work out for them. But, you know, they were able to run the football at will. That helped Andy Dalton as well. 4.2 yards per carry from the running backs. Chuba Hubbard had over 100 yards. And so, 437 yards of total offense from the Panthers.
I'm frustrated because he didn't move off the. He didn't move. We didn't make him move. We had to find a way.
No pressure.
There was no pressure. And I understand Max was a little hobbled, but got to find ways to pressure the quarterback, some zone dogs or something. I just really felt we didn't give Andy just enough to work with as far as pressure package, making sure that when he's dropping back in the pass, he's moving to his left, he's moving to his right, having to be mobile, which is something that obviously Andy is not the mobile kind of quarterback who's going to hurt you like that. I wanted him on the run. I wanted him forced into being able to have to make plays being a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, you a defender, so you always going to go with the defense. I'm always go with the offense. We got to be better because we got to help the defense out. Let the defense go out there and play with some leads so Max Crosby and those guys can pin their ears back and go get the quarterback. Make Andy Dalton uncomfortable. I'm not even really talking about pocket. I'm talking about score.
Yeah, right.
Take the football field and you're down 10 points, and now you got to press a little bit. So offensively, we got to help the defense out. We have not helped the defense out really all year long. Second half in the Baltimore Ravens game, we were decent, and you've seen what that game ended up in, a W, because we helped. But we got to be better offensively. We got to help the defense out.
I have a question, though. In the fourth quarter, the highlights, you were pointing out how they were in four wide and how that the Ravens game, this game, that is how they look comfortable. Is it pretty simple to you? Should that be their identity?
Oh, man, Amber, you're smart. You are smart. That absolutely should be their identity. Every time we see them in 4 wide, Gardner Minshew identifies.
So they do have an identity that works. They're just not identifying themselves as it yet, right? Bing, bing, bing. They don't identify.
We're trying to tell them.
They don't identify as a 4 wide
Man, we're trying to tell them. But the main thing is, I think, as a coach, you're like, okay, we want to be nasty, we want to be grimy, we want to run the ball. You still can run the ball out of 4 wide. But your identity is getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands fast.
Well, you're
letting
not
him.
going to have a stacked box if you're starting to have success, so you will be able to run the ball. It's just you're not doing it first.
That's why they pay you
second.
big bucks to host the show, because you know football.
No, I'm going to find my invoice right now after this game. All right, coming up, we're going to hear from Antonio Pierce. What does he have to say about the loss to the Panthers? That is coming up next as the Raiders lose to the Panthers 36-22.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go to where we go to what we do when we get there, we go further together.
How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
In 300 feet, turn left.
With Cox's fiber-powered internet, you can do brilliant things.
Exit approaching.
Like upload your voice to Dad's GPS in no time flat.
And I miss you, Daddy. Happy birthday.
Get multi-gig download speeds powered by fiber. Upgrade your internet today with Cox, the nation's fastest internet provider. Limited availability in select areas.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. Your 5-star chefs on 4 wheels, running your kitchen all over town, pushing through working hours and after hours. No matter rain or shine. Because when you stay hungry, your neighborhood stays fed. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
This segment of Raiders Game Day is brought to you by Twitch. Be sure to check out the Raiders' 5th Quarter podcast. Listen and follow wherever you podcast.
This performance was not indicative of a team you've led. Can you put your finger on what happened?
No, it was poor. It was just not good enough. Obviously, the crowd was ready. I appreciate the crowd. Everybody showing up. They did their part. We did not. Scheme wasn't good enough. The design of the plays wasn't good enough today. What we thought was going to work didn't work, and on the grass we didn't execute, nor did we put up forth, to me, the effort that we had put up in games past.
Antonio, you said that you've wanted to be a team that controls the line of scrimmage, and on both sides of the line of scrimmage today, it didn't feel like that was.
No, we got our ass whooped.
Yeah. Any reason? What's the crux of that? Would you say?
We got our ass whooped. We got to put pads on. I don't know. I mean, got to get on the sled. It's the same group that's, for the most part, all come back and same technique, same coaches. It's not a different scheme. So obviously we're gonna have to coach it better and be some hard asses on the guys, and guys got to take some rough coaching, because that just didn't see that coming on either side of the ball. We thought we had opportunity to run the ball, and we didn't. We didn't do that at all. I mean, we tried, and just I would have booed us too, But offensively, defensively, we didn't do a good enough job up front. It's not good enough.
Coach, I know you're upset with the performance. How would you rate your concern about the team's effort? It seemed like this is one of the first games under your leadership that the team just didn't seem to show up tonight.
No, they didn't. I think as the game went on, I don't think it was a team. I think there was definitely some individuals that made business decisions, and we'll make business decisions going forward as well.
Antonio, last week there was talk about maybe some disrespect that was happening nationally and with the point spread, and heard it from the players. But basically what it's asking people to believe in them, and kind of let them down a little bit today. So where does that fall into? You got to earn that belief and that trust needs to be earned on the field.
Yeah, I think the one thing I've always said and spoken to you gentlemen about and ladies is being consistent. We're here right now, and that's not what we're fighting for. That's not what we're striving for, and it showed up today. And if I could say I saw it coming, I would have told you that, but I didn't see that coming. And the inconsistent play is something we just got to constantly keep working on.
It seemed like I know you mentioned the trenches, but
Time now for one big number, and look at this: 4 backup quarterbacks in the last 2 years the Raiders have lost to. And we talk about winning games that you're expected to win. And usually when a backup is in, it gives you a good opportunity to win a game because something's gone wrong with the starter. They're not their best option, and they're there. And they have lost to guys like Tyson Bagent. Remember that with the Bears?
Yeah.
Even lost to Gardner Minshew, who was a backup with the Colts at the time last year. So there's quite a few. And Andy Dalton is technically a backup, but he is the better option, it seems, for this team. There's a look at them right there. We got 2 of them right. Josh Dobbs
those top
was
two,
another one.
Those top 2 are Andy Dalton, as he showed today, is a quality.
He's a starter.
Yeah, he's a starter. He's an NFL quarterback.
But still, this goes. We are showing you this to show that you need to win games that you are expected to win when you have an opportunity, because it is a war of attrition. And when you have guys that are down and the backup is in, you should be able to take advantage of that. And they just got beaten. And it's what Jason Horowitz said. He said, look, it wasn't playing down your competition. I appreciated him kind of correcting that. It was they got smacked around.
They did.
They did. By a team that was better than the Raiders today.
I tell you, I'm saying this Panthers team played as good as I've seen them play in the last 3 years. I mean, on offense, defense, line of scrimmage, the secondary played well. I just think that when you come to a football game like this and you have a quarterback like Andy, you have to find a way defensively to move him and make some plays. Offensively, if you can't run the football, like you did in the second half of Baltimore, you came out, adjusted, and we set up here, and JJ time and time again talked about how many times we were in 4 receiver sets or empty or shotgun making plays towards the end of this game. And I know people are going to say, hey, we were behind, so they were playing soft defense, but you're having success at doing that. When you start to line up the receivers that we have on this football team, Devontae, Jacoby, Brock, Turner, that's a lot of guys who can, find ways of getting the ball and making some yards after catch. And you are right. If the offense is spread out defensively, you have to be set and ready to play. You can't be disguising. You can't have a safety in the box and a linebacker doing this. If you do, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get crushed by that. So it's going to be very interesting. And this is kind of what I said last week after the game. It'd be very interesting to see what kind of formations we come out early in the ball game. And for this week, I think we went back into the building and we said we have to find a way to run the football because of what the Panthers were not able to do the first 2 weeks. Weren't able to, successfully stop the run. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if we go JJ's way and go 4 wide, or if we go back to the old, hey, you got to run the football to be successful.
We're going to find a way to win. But one thing I took out of that interview, though, is AP say we got to be more consistent. We cannot do this. That's one thing I do know in the National Football League. If you are like this, you're not going to win a lot of games, right? I was blessed to have an opportunity to win a championship in this league. And if you like this, you ain't going to win a championship. And this is a game that you was not supposed to be like this.
Right. No.
You were supposed to be like this.
It was a chance to stay
You understand what I'm saying? And we were supposed to win this football game, and we didn't, and it's back to the drawing board. But if we are going to be the team that we are supposed to be and want to be, we got to be more consistent. You can't go out in the second half of the Baltimore Ravens game and score 20 points and then come out here and no stats you show me turnover on downs, punt, miss field goal, punt. You cannot come out here like that. That is inconsistent football. And if we play like that, it's going to be a long season for us, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I can't speak for the defense, but on the offensive side of the ball, it's going to be a long year. We've got to find a way to be consistent.
All right, well, we're going to hear from Gardner Minshew when we come back here on Raiders Game Day. It was a tough day for him in the offense, as we've been talking about. We'll hear what he has to say to the media coming up as the Raiders lose this to the Panthers.
Every year, millions fly with us at Allegiant because together, we go places. We see old friends and try new things. We laugh. We really like to laugh. And reconnect. We remember. And we wander, which leads to wonder. From how we go to where we go to what we do when we get there, we go further together.
Hey Raider Nation, when you come to see the Raiders take the field at Allegiant Stadium, you should do it from the best seats in the house. So grab an ice cold Coors Light, and you can enter to win tickets for these Coors Light silver seats at Allegiant Stadium. With plush seating, state-of-the-art beverage coolers, and wireless phone chargers, there's no better place to watch your Raiders bring home the win. Celebrate responsibly.
In 300 feet, turn left.
With Cox's fiber-powered internet, you can do brilliant things.
Exit approaching.
Like upload your voice to Dad's GPS in no time flat.
And I miss you, Daddy. Happy birthday.
Get multi-gig download speeds powered by fiber. Upgrade your internet today with Cox, the nation's fastest internet provider. Limited availability in select areas.
It's in our very nature to find exhilaration in the new, to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Taste is not an option. Taste is everything. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It's your job to stock the city, restaurants and rooftops, bars and basements. Every corner store. And when it gets tough, you stay driven. Give it all you got, going nonstop, 20 stops. Because at the end of the day, every single round is on you. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
We just got done talking to AP about the performance. This was not indicative of how his teams have played. What do you think happened today?
Yeah, just a lot of bad. Not good enough all around, you know. Thought we came out a little flat today. You know, just didn't have the execution, the focus to sustain drives and stay on the field. And that was frustrating.
In 12 quarters, only about a quarter and a half in Baltimore has this offense looked on fire. What's it going to take, Gardner, to get this moving in the right direction? There's plenty of talent.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Honestly, I think we're going to have to go, you know, watch this tape, watch our tape previous, figure out what we're doing well, figure out what we're not, and just continue on the process, man. I think, you know, AP was talking about the locker room, not riding the roller coaster, not following the ups and downs, but continuing to try to get better. And if we do that, we got the right people to do it, and we're going to be all right.
And as he said, the biggest issue, not able to sustain drives, but not able to run the football whatsoever with just 55 yards rushing. You know, he had 214 yards passing, threw a touchdown, threw an interception. His passer rating was 84. And just to give you perspective, Andy Dalton's passer rating was 123.
Yeah, it shows a lot about playing from behind, right? And that's the one thing that we all came into the season with. We had to find a way to have the lead, so we're kind of dictating the tempo of the game, which was really important for an offensive team trying to find its identity, and we just haven't found that yet. And playing from behind is not the way to go, particularly if defensively you're having trouble stopping the run and you can't run the football. There's some question that has to be answered. It's week 3. It's still very early, but for our football team, we got to get going here because the season's only going to get tougher and more difficult, and we have to find a way to have something that we can rely on, something we can come into each week with saying, we're going to do this and do this well. And if Max is banged up on the defensive side of the ball, our defense can't fall apart. We have to have other pieces. We have to play complementary football.
It's thin on that defensive line, though, right now, and that's a concern.
It really is. It's
lack
concern.
of depth.
And linebacker-wise, Diablo goes out, and, we have, young players playing now and undrafted guys who are playing now. So it's a situation where defensive, we thought we're going to be able to kind of hold the water together. But right now, I think offense, we have to find a way to have some consistency about us.
It just sucks, man, because we was better than this team.
Yeah.
Right, these are the games that I used to hate. Walking off the field, knowing a team that you better than just came into your building and beat you, right? They're not more talented than you, right? They don't have a better record than you. Right. You at home, they on the road, they haven't been playing well. This is a game we're supposed to win, so this one gonna hurt. So this is one of those ones that you getting on the bus going home, you don't even want to watch film tomorrow. You don't want to come in here and watch film because man, we left a W out there on the football field and we should have won this football game. This is tough. I'm up here, I ain't play. But this hurt. Because I'm like, this the Carolina Panthers. I don't care if Andy Dalton came out there, Patrick Mahomes came out there in a Panthers uniform. We better than them. And we should have won.
One highlight, though, was Trey Tucker. We were looking to see that connection between Gardner Minshew and Trey Tucker that we saw in the preseason. We saw it one big game. This was a pretty play. And look, it shows, if you're going to throw the ball, Minshew's got the arm. He can do it.
Yeah.
And Trey Tucker is a weapon that can help them hopefully bounce back against Deshaun Watson and the Browns, who are coming to Allegiant coming up next.
Yeah, a touchdown here. So, he's been active. You talk about he's our third. In the line of receivers, he's probably 4th, as far as who's responsible for making big plays for us. But he came to play today, and he's had some growth this training camp and preseason, and now he's in this season, and hopefully he continues to play well.
Yeah, 1-1 at the Z, 16 at the Zebra. 17 at the X.
We're going to let him figure out who the receivers are. All right, we're going to take a break here on Raiders Game Day. When we come back, we are going to take a look at what is coming up next for the Raiders.
It's in our very nature to find exhilaration in the new, to seek the excitement of the unexpected, an endless yearning to experience what lies beyond the everyday.
Hey Raider Nation, when you come to see the Raiders take the field at Allegiant Stadium, you should do it from the best seats in the house. So grab an ice cold Coors Light, and you can enter to win tickets for these Coors Light silver seats at Allegiant Stadium. With plush seating, state-of-the-art beverage coolers, and wireless phone chargers, there's no better place to watch your Raiders bring home the win. Celebrate responsibly.
Dude, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro. Guys, somebody's coming. Somebody's coming.
Let's do it.
There comes a day, when I'll be the one you dream. It's gonna be me.
Dude, are you crying?
Raiders Raiders Game Day is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights, only at Allegiant.com. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, choose chill, an official beer of Raider Nation. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Well, the home opener wasn't what the Raiders expected. They lose this one 36-22 to the Panthers, but it is always a good time at Allegiant Stadium, and the in-stadium entertainment was lit as usual at the torch. It was Terry Robisky, the running back, and the coach there, lighting the torch, and then Judith Hill, she killed it, the Grammy winner, on what a beautiful voice, singing the national anthem, and, you know, that's Trek, right? From...
Yeah.
Naughty by nature.
It's not Treach, like our producer said. I don't think he knows who he is.
Big boy.
Big boy. He's a country fan, not a hip hop fan. But you know, Too Short.
Too Short.
Too Short he always gets Raider Nation lit. So it was fun to be out there today, and you know that they're going to get the win next time as we look forward.
Maybe we need to. They need to let our crew light that torch. And let's just go get a W. I think we will bring some good vibes in there to get a W. Let us light that torch.
We've never lit the torch. I think Raiders Game Day, we're gonna petition. But that halftime show was fire, by the way. I always love seeing it.
We're right here, Peyton. Make that happen.
Well,
now,
let's try to do it for the Browns game. So here's what's coming up next. You got the Browns at home at Allegiant. So winnable game. Broncos.
How many years have we beat the Broncos in a row?
Like we own the
like
Broncos.
3 or 4.
I'll tell you, Pittsburgh Steelers though, they're a tough team right now.
Yeah. But you know, if Max is totally healthy, that's going to be a heck of a game to watch because you know Max is going to want to show out.
Because if TJ healthy,
TJ, he's going to be at his best. He's going to be at his best. And then you know what, the Rams, they have been feisty. They won today.
Beat the Niners.
So. It's a tough schedule as we get further down, but getting 2 wins against the Browns and the Broncos would be the right way to go. Get reset and get ready for the Steelers after that. All right, the offense is going to get back on track. The Raiders lose this one 36-22 to the Panthers.
Yeah, we got 11 at the Z.
He's trying to figure out the receivers. For Eric Allen and James Jones, I'm Amber Theoharis. We'll see you guys after the show, after the game next week.